Young people, a lot of them nowadays, they focus on politics, which is a good thing. But they a lot of them get tired of it and then also just venture off into drugs and stuff. We had a lot of good writers there. I remember Kagiso Mokhalem, who would do most of the monologues and stuff. And then there are times where I would say, hey, KG, listen, would you mind if I change this or that, or say it like that instead of that, or use this word instead of that word? Yeah, that's how we did. We sort of built a character. My prime of youth is but a frost of cares.
Yeah, I like the tone of it.
My feast of joy is but a dish of pain.
Yeah.
And my crop of corn is but a field of tares. And all my good is but a vain hope of gain.
Yeah.
Lotshani sishaba. Ngelisa nathi. Kulo naga siziragela phambili.
I'm very impressed with what you're trying to do.
Mina ngithanda utshwala.
Nathi singama community omphakathi.
Usiphosile? Uyasijoya fusathini?
Journalists have been asking me what happened between you and Somizi.
It's a good day to have a happy day. It's Happy Days on podcasting. Ngendlela ethi ayibe right. The name is Riz Twala. Sila ePotchefstroom in the northwest. Ngoba vele sawathatha ama chance ngokuhamba sithatha amakasi sikinphithizeli sifikileke la ePotchefstroom. Yabona nama out asePotchefstroom asingena sibheka ngomhaku ukuthi awubani man. Iazza sesowethu sifunani. Yeah, from Southwestern Township to Potchefstroom in the northwest. Sishayela impintshi yami round. Asithatha ama chance.
2 young lives destroyed. Dreams and aspirations permanently put on hold. Families distraught. Oh, what have we done to offend the heavens? Why are they watching, silent? Are the birds laughing at our sorrow? Are the vultures gossiping about us as we bury our young?
People know him as an actor, a poet, and he's been in the industry for over 17 years, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Ntate Molefi Monaisa. Yeah. Wallet. Thank you for inviting us to your place, to your space, my brother.
It's a pleasure.
And thank you for, being with us here on Happy Days. I must say, people are very much excited to see your face. Before nje kuba excited abantu ne crew yami excited blind ukuthi ha nangiwala. Let's talk about your story, Autam, because dala ngifuna ukuthi siblome ngokushayela around sikhulume nje ngawo where you coming from. I know you've been in the industry for over 17 years, and I understand you are the first person or a first man to use the word demure.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. TikTok. No, I don't.
No, I heard that you are the first person actually using that. Those curvy words.
I don't know.
Serious English. Now you petty dictionary. I mean, they show the dictionaries around.
No, I think people got carried away with the wallet character from Saam and stuff.
Because if it was me, I was going to use maybe reserved, shy person, or maybe a modest person, not demure.
No. But that's the kind of person Wallet is actually.
Yeah.
Because I remember when because sometimes, you know, I would sort of, you know, call, you know, who the writer was and say, listen, do you mind if I use this word instead of that one? Or do you mind if I, you know, sort of use this idiomatic expression instead of that one? Because you kind of have an idea, Oguti. This guy is those very la-di-da type who like to use certain words and
certain
phrases as well. So yeah, I mean that's who he is basically. But I think also, but you know, social media. So I think people got carried away with that one. Because when somebody sent it to me, I said, "What? That's crazy." You know. So yeah. So Wallet would use words like that, you know. So because that's the kind of person he is. I remember I said, he's those people that in those days where they would, because South Africa was in that space, yeah, you know, sanctions and stuff. So not many of us were going overseas at the time, and those who could, you know, and we have, I think there were many you know, theatrical shows that were going there. So what it comes from that stock, you know. So and every time somebody would go overseas, and then they would go for 3 months.
Yeah.
Because I remember there was a kid who went to the U.S., a white kid I knew who went to the U.S. For about 4 months, and then he came back with a U.S. accent.
So you lose the accent.
Yeah, he came back with a U.S. accent. Yeah, no, yeah. So it was for me quite strange. But you know, that's what happened with a lot of people. So Wallet, you know, he in the story, he used to be a writer, a poet, and an actor. You know, he did a lot of one-handers and stuff. And so you know, he was well liked overseas, but I think he kind of lost it there. You know, he got carried away, and then you know, too much drink, too much ladies, too much on the drugs and stuff, and then he kind of lost his mind a bit. But you know, with people like that, every time they would come back home, they would make you feel a little less of a human. Yeah, and it's like, you know, I've been there and there. Where have you been? Yeah, and I think it kind of comes from that, you know, and also people would make up stories about who he is. You know, when you sort of read on social media, because I don't have any social media account, so I would get this stuff from people, say, hey, listen, look at this. This is what they say.
But we'll talk more about Skeem Saam, in fact, Wallet, when we're talking about the Skeem Saam.
All right.
But now, maybe just to start our conversation, we can actually stretch back from, I know you from here.
I was
born here in
yeah, I was born here, but you know, my parents left when I was about 8 or 9 for Mafikeng. So then we lived in Mafikeng for some time, and then that's when we, I think somewhere in the towards the mid 80s, we then moved to Joburg, and we stayed in Joburg, and then Pretoria, and then back to Mafikeng, and then back to Klerksdorp, and then back to Pretoria.
No man.
Eh?
More like no man.
Yeah, we're nomads.
I'm trying to use very serious English when I'm talking to you.
No, please don't. No, we moved around quite a bit, and that's me.
And I heard that you're also a very troublesome young boy. You know, when you were growing up, especially in school, they will take you to drama to actually play drama, because you were so talkative, escolwin, and troublesome. In a way.
Where'd you get this stuff from? So
digging deep.
You've been digging. No, actually, maybe to a certain extent, I was a little disruptive. I don't know. So you're kids, you know. So, but I remember one incident. I was dealing with my whatever, and then I remember one. There was they were gonna do a show for the end of the year, at school. So this teacher kind of like said to me, so you're going to be part of it. You're going to be an actor in the show. I'm like, no, ma'am, I can't. This is like, no, you're going on stage. This is like almost primary school somewhere around like what's it about Mustang 3 or whatever. So she says, no, you're going to do it. I'm telling you, you're going to do it. There's no way out of it. So and so I sort of got encouraged by others, and that's when it started actually. And then then I did this, and I played a certain character in the show, and everybody somehow remembered this character all the time. So it's like, wow, okay, is that a calling? And that's where it started for me. That's where it started for me.
But you wanted to study medicine and practice it, or law?
No, I think but it would have been maybe a law, because I still love the law, but too bloody.
Yeah.
So I don't even watch horror.
Yeah.
So no, it would have been law or politics or journalism as well, so it was, between those, but as a kid I wanted to be everything, or anything.
I know.
There was a time I wanted to be a cop, but then you realize as an actor you cannot be all of these things. You kind of like, you can live them out.
But it happens, you would say, okay, right, you even went to the art school.
No, well, the thing is, there was a time when we were in Johannesburg at the time, so we were living there. And I think, teachers kind of like put it in my father's head that, your boy should go to the Johannesburg, that the National School of Arts there. And then it's like, over my dead body. So no, I didn't get to go there, but what I did was later on in my life, because they would not hear anything about that. So when I finished school, I found out there was a lady in Pretoria who was some years after school. There was a lady who was giving classes in method acting. Okay. So I wanted to study this technique of method acting. So that's what I did. Because I would part-time study with her for about 4 years. And that's what I did. Yeah.
So, in your mind, okay, right? This person who I am right now being well respected, because when you're talking television, film in South Africa, in a way. We'll always think about you. You'll always be in the list.
Oh, in the list, Guru, no, please. No. No, I don't know. I think, it's just something I loved doing, and wanted to do it for as long as I can. I make a living out of it, as well. So I think when you're younger, you really want to be the star. You want everybody to like you.
Yeah.
You think when you're famous, everybody's gonna love you, and it's so nice, But as you grow older, you kind of, figure it out that it's not always, So you have a choice, Do I become an artist, or do I become a celebrity or something? So I sort of, wanted to be more the artist, the actor, So I never, every time you get a part, so you never know where it's gonna go.
Yeah.
You never know if they're gonna like it, if the audience is gonna like it. You're always hoping that it'll work, that the audience will love it. And no, I never thought, especially this one also from that. I knew, I was just like, oh, okay, this is a very interesting character, just that's all, you never think of yourself, but you want to give the best you can. You wanna be as good as you can be, and because that's the only way you're probably gonna survive in terms of work. You know, with every production, you want to be give it the best you can, and that's it. You know, to think that one day you would be one of those that people would consider a great actor.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's maybe it's luck. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah.
But now you started with theater.
Oh yeah, I think you know.
Let's talk about theater and especially your first theater work that you did.
Oh, there was well outside of school there was this thing a center in Pretoria in Skinner Street.
Okay.
Called the Little Theatre. So I think that time Pact and them were still, you know, I remember there were these performing arts councils, and so they that was my first time, you know, doing something that was going to be on a theatre, like say the State Theatre. So I think the development side of the Pact. So there was this guy called Mpho Monaisa who was running the center, the Arts for All they called it, and I think it was part of UNISA, because there's a little theater there and then there's this art center there, and so he wrote this play which we were all a part of, and then you know, we were invited to the sometime in the mid-90s to play at the State Theatre.
Okay.
Yeah, and then after that, you know, there was, you know, Windy Brow did some things with, you know, a friend of mine, Sankubu Kaba. You know, he was also on Skeem. I think he played the lawyer there, the advocate Bopape.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, I remember.
So we were quite close at the time, you know. We still are. So you know, these young people who were, you know, just, you know, he was the one who wrote most of the stuff, and then we would go to these festivals and showcase our stuff. And yeah, and then you know, things started happening. You know, I think in the 2000s and stuff, I started working with people like Paul Grubbo, and Brice Khabi. You know, also you know, Paul Slabolepsy. James Noble. You know,
Very good friend of Happy Days.
Is it? Oh yeah. Oh, is it James?
Yeah. I must say.
Yeah. No, he's a great guy. You know. So you know. Yeah. It's just to name a few. Then started doing a lot of work with him.
Okay.
You know, with the, you know, theater stuff. You know, and you know, I worked with people from also Benoni, Sebikwa Arts. You know, we did some stuff at the market there. You know, yeah.
Would you say to someone who was actually aspiring to become an actor, to start work or to start at the theater?
Oh yeah, no. I think this is
because
where,
I think theater molds many actors,
yeah,
I mean,
this
good
is
actors.
This is where you hone your talent, your skill, where you hone your skill and you know what I think with most people, theater is always an actor's space. And film is more the directors. You know? So because, you know, with theater, I think, you know, the actor has more time and space to not only learn their craft, but with every you know, work that you do, you have this period of rehearsals where we as many times as possible try and find the best way to how do I say, play the character, or sort of prepare for this role, and to kind of really understand the story and the world of this story, and then, you know, accept it as such, and then be a part of all these people that you're working with, and you learn how important it is to you depend on each other to make the show work. So it's become this family that we
Yes,
never let each
yes.
other down.
Yeah.
So I think once you learn that, how important it is, with theatre, because you have these writers as well, and how important it is to also respect their work as well, as much as you have your own input in there. So yeah, I think it's always for me been the best way for any young actor or aspiring or to start there. You learn a lot there.
But is the industry getting enough support, Molefi?
Theatre.
Because we were talking just off camera, we were talking about budgets and problems, people getting monies to actually, fund plays.
Look, I think there isn't enough though. I think there isn't enough. But in terms of development as well, for young people, who for instance cannot make it to technical or university, but perhaps maybe we shouldn't have done away with performing arts councils. It would have been a better place for them to be a part of the theatre community. I think it's not funded enough really, because as I was saying, there was a young lady who only had a certain amount of in terms of budget in the Free State. She wanted to do My Children, My Africa. And then we ended up not being able to work together because of the budgetary constraints and stuff. Although I was game, I was ready to work. I was ready to work, but I think she kind of felt like it wouldn't make sense in terms of what she had in terms of to work with me and stuff. I think it should be looked at.
Yeah, we need to continue telling our good stories.
Exactly. Because I think South Africa has a lot to tell, and then the theatre, but also I think in terms of educating our people. I know in Joburg or Gauteng, it's theatre is quite a big thing, especially in Joburg, right? So I think it's education in terms of what the theatre is. Yeah, but
Molefi, the hype.
Yeah.
There was hype last time. You remember?
Yeah.
I think the hype ended during the days of Umoja. Where you know, hey, there's a play, no matter but you know about it. But right now there are no hypes. You don't know what's going on unless you go to a website that says specific theatre. So where to theatre.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. I think it's all just got to do with funding, and having more programs.
Mackenzie must do something.
Yeah, I hope he does. I hope he does. Because we got to save the theatre, because I think it's a best place. It's for young aspiring actors. Even for writers as well. Some of the great writers, they always they start from theatre and directors as well. I think it's a great space. A school for performing arts, and then when you see it kind of like struggling so much, you kind of ask yourself, about the future.
Yeah.
About the future. The performing arts in the country itself. So yeah, I just hope more will be done in terms of getting theatres to really work. Talking about Soweto theatre, there's not much there. It's quite sad, isn't it? Yeah, there has to be a lot going on there. I often hear some people saying, they're gonna put on a show called Soweto Theatre. I haven't actually worked there. And I'd like to.
Angizokuthatha ngike.
Yeah, I would have liked, I'd like to do something.
Ngizokhetha nje show one entire scene.
Yeah,
Shy round.
yeah. No, that would be great stuff.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you.
Yeah, and I
Let's
love
talk about also Ilona, poet, the love for poets.
I don't know. I just love, when I was a kid, I loved reading, these.
Yeah, it comes out.
And then but poetry, I just sort of connected somehow with it, even though at times when I was a kid, I didn't know what the hell was being said there, but it was just, I would just read these things and then, and then hopefully later on I'll get to understand what's being said. That's the thing with me, and I even attempted as always to write my own stuff, but I was my worst critic. I would look at the thing and think, what am I saying? And then so there's that also, that love that's always been there for poetry for me, but I think it's also my imagination. So because as a child, I remember they would say to you, okay, you can only watch TV for so long, and then you got to go and so sometimes even during school holidays, you would be told, they would say, hey, Lona, alilo chaka boch.
Okay.
Alilo chaka anyway, la dula the holiday center ale anyway.
Yeah.
So then you get lost in these books, and then sometimes even they would say you can only watch television
from this time.
Yeah. and then
yeah.
you can only get higher movies or videos for, and watch them only, and then the rest of the time you have to find for reading. And so I think that's how they sort of my parents helped us to really like the whole literature in such a way, because of just reading and having your mind and getting lost in a book and getting lost in a story. Because I remember I said to one of my friends, I said to him, it's so funny. Growing up, sometimes I'll be so lost in a story that I would think that I was in a real world. that I'd be sitting with people and then I'll be going, but where's that guy? When is he coming? Where's John or whatever their name is? And then everybody be thinking, what's wrong with? And then later on, it would just, oh God, no, John is this character in some story I was reading, and that's how you get involved, and that is how it helps to the reading part of it. It sort of helps to your mind. It grows, and with an imagination like that, and perhaps that's why some of us become actors, because then we have this overactive imagination because of maybe of the stories that we read and anything that we read. So the imagination grows. It becomes stronger and stronger. So yeah.
And I see we are also blessed. There's rain coming.
Yeah. It hasn't rained for a while.
Yeah. As long as we hear, there will be too much rain.
It must be you guys.
Yeah,
it must be.
But haven't you think about becoming a director? Because Molefi, we say our funama directors, especially abantwana abafana nani kudala, because you've been in the industry for quite some time now. I think you will need, as South Africa, a little bit of some help. Have you had the situation of if you were playing football in the country, you need to play a role within the football industry, and help, so that the country is supported. That is why when I'm in my country, some former players to be even coaches, so we need a little bit of coaching from yours, don't you think?
Yeah, but that's why, like here, or one and we've been looking for a way to run a proper art center. That I like, though, working with young people in terms of a skill, as actors. because that's mostly where I've spent most of my time learning how to do, being an actor. It's always that's always fascinated me.
Yeah.
It's always been that. I mean, I mean, but like I said, directing is although I did try it, I did try it, but to say, I'm actually thinking of it nowadays of trying my hand in terms of, but basically in theater though, in theater though. So yeah, I mean, there's stuff I wanna do in terms of Potchefstroom itself,
Okay.
from especially from Potch to say Volmar and stuff.
Okay.
Because we kind of like very much the same people anyway.
Yeah.
But sort of the history I kind of, but to work on stories that have to do with people here, and I think for young people, especially because now you have a lot of young people. I think partly because a lot of them don't know what to do with themselves, and also not having self-esteem.
Yes.
And I think once you have a place like that for them to explore and learn how to express themselves in that space, as writers, maybe as actors or whatever, in terms of performance, I think it'll help a great deal. So basically that's what I like to focus on, really. And I've been thinking about that a lot, for some time now, because it was always part of what I wanted to do as I grow older, to work with young people in this manner. Hopefully in time, soon.
Very soon.
They will be
Soonest.
Yeah. so they will be help in terms of funding such a project, because I think it's very, very important in terms of developing young minds, because I think we need that. I mean, we can't have tomorrow's leadership that doesn't know anything about the arts as well, or because young people, a lot of them nowadays, they focus on politics, which is a good thing, but they a lot of them get tired of it, and then also just venture off into drugs and stuff.
It's not about acting, Pella. There's a lot you can do.
It's a huge thing. There's so much to do that they themselves could be doing in terms of making a life for themselves, how to build the sets on stage. These people are carpenters mostly.
Yes.
So but they could become whatever, but that's why I feel quite sad that the performing arts councils were sort of done away with, because that's the place where you could help they could be used in that way, in helping young people. Maybe you could have changed some the way that they worked before, and then turn them into this place where young people, after they finish, maybe they get their BTEC, or they get their degree or whatever, and then they would come and you know, start learning how to work professionally as artists, maybe in a theater, in a performing arts council type of you know, space. But all that is gone, and so we got to find other ways of how to make it work properly.
Yeah.
In a way that it's quite beneficial for these young people.
Yes, yes. Because there are still good people out there, you know.
Oh, yeah, no, there's
people
a
who
lot.
are not, you know, we can actually put some money and help in these instances. We have business people even here, Potchefstroom, you know, who are maybe watching this podcast as we speak, because the complaint all the time is about, I want to do something for the community, but business people, they don't want to put on money, you know. A government, it's a problem, you know. We end up blaming each other, but you find you know. It's a problem.
Yeah.
But maybe let's just move on to your early days. I'm talking about 2006, where it all started now in the television side. One Way. Daniel Put.
Yeah, actually, it was, I think, 2000 when I did something, you know, backstage. I think I remember when they were, I think it was 99. Was it 99 when backstage started? Anyway, while they were in Cape Town.
Okay.
So I went to Cape Town. I wanted to stay with Cape Town. So now I went to these auditions for backstage.
Okay.
So they were casting for Juke, the character Juke.
Yeah.
And then I remember I went there for it, and it's like, no, we love your work, but you know, you're not you know how it is in our industry. You got to look.
You don't look the way
You don't
you're
look
supposed to look.
So anyway, this producer, she wanted to keep me, so she said, listen, please, you know, don't leave.
Yeah.
So, Cape Town or anytime soon, just there because I want you, you know. So then there was a character of AK that came along, but then that one was also taken by somebody, Shane Maja.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I had to play this henchman because she kept on saying to me, the lady, listen, speak to your agent. Speak to your agent. Tell her to tell us that you want this and this and this and that, so that we can do that, so that you could work. But I didn't work out. And so, because I remember I was working at a spur there. Yeah, there was a spur there in, I think,
Shisama Reeves.
Yeah, near Observatory there. So I used to, you know, for just sort of, you know, pay the bills and stuff. Well, and then I remember I was looking for theater work there, and then this one, you know, I think I was at the Baxter or something, and then they sort of, and then one of the theaters there, and then they said, you know, so you from Gauteng, yeah? So can you speak isiXhosa? And then I'm like, and then it was like, yeah, you know, it was like, you know, then the whole deal was that, you know, for me to get a lot of theater work, I would have to learn how to speak isiXhosa, you know.
And now
so then I thought, Jesus, man, it's gonna take quite a while. And so after a few months I left. I came back home, and that's when I started having, like, there was Madam and Eve also I shot.
I remember Madam and Eve,
with Joe Mafela. I was still in Cape Town at the time, but it was small parts, you know.
Okay.
Small parts, but they help because you get used to how things work.
Okay.
You know,
so we have a malin,
he had to go.
Yeah. He had to go.
Yeah,
just for the sake of it.
Yeah. And the 25% thing that they had to take out of it.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, you don't want to talk. Yeah, you don't want to talk about that. So yeah, and then there was some movies, international movies, that they'd be shooting around, in and around Cape Town, and then you get parts there as well. I remember I did cut a couple of them. There was Canadian productions that came there, and and then it was just all these smaller parts until the time, because then you would be doing a theater there, little stuff there, and then there was a time then when they were auditioning for One Way. It was a weekend, and I remember I had a flu. So I thought, why not go? And then I went there and did the thing, and somehow they were impressed, and then they
something is meant for you.
Before I got home, they said, no, listen.
Yeah,
We start production. Yeah, that's how it all started with One Way. But the sad part is, we didn't get the second season because somebody did something with monies that they shouldn't have done.
Yeah, let's continue to talk about One Way, because like I was saying, Guti, One Way is the one which I'm sure a lot of people saw you for the first time.
I think they started paying attention around there. Go One Way. SABC 3. Yeah, and after that, I'm not sure what I did also in that year as well. And the funny thing, One Way, when I got it, I'd missed this call of these guys who were looking for actors to do something more Carltonville Mines.
Okay.
And then it was paying quite a huge amount of money. So it was an industrial theater piece. And then because I think the time I bought the smaller phone, I didn't know how it works. And then we were out drinking the night before. And so it was switched off, and then people were trying to call me. And I was so depressed. And then that's when that call came to do One Way. And I thought, okay, now thank you, God, something, although I'm still heartbroken about that whole, industrial theater.
Okay.
Oh, the money was great. But as you say, I think a lot of people started paying attention when I did One Way. Yeah.
And then there was also season 5, Lockdown.
Yeah, Lockdown.
Yeah, that you did.
Oh, lockdown. You mean that lockdown?
Yeah, that lockdown. Not the 2021 to 2023.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, the real lockdown.
Yeah, no. Oh, yeah, no. Yeah. So no, that one. I think they asked for a tape, and then I did something, a smaller tape, and I sent it to them, and so they called me. They said, "No, come, let's work." So I work with Mandla, Black Brain, Mandla N.
Okay.
He works in a very, interesting way. And so, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it because I got to work with Sophie.
Yeah.
The whole thing was something else, man. Yeah.
You really enjoyed Lockdown, Yakbo.
Yeah, no.
I can feel that.
Which means he must have enjoyed it himself.
I did.
Yeah, but I enjoyed it. I don't know. I try and enjoy everything I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, no matter how small or big. So yes, I had fun. Doing Lockdown, because before that there was a show I did, Hillside. Yeah. So I think that was 2007, if I'm not mistaken. So when I was Obris Khadi as well, So we did that hospital drama. 2 seasons of it we shot back to back. But the thing is, I think there was a time when they said no, we were not gonna do the SABC. And they said, well, they weren't gonna do some big shows like hospital dramas anymore, because they were talking about the digital migration, 2010.
Yes.
And so that's the, and then sadly it sort of disappeared, because I think they had plans for it, the producers, in terms of growing it. And I actually enjoyed that as well. Yeah.
And we're actually coming back. We're still continuing talking to the actor, the poet, as well as someone who's very well known to the industry. Esimthanda kakhulu ngendlela right. He's here on Happy Days with us today. And then we continue after the break. We'll just go to a break and then come back and talk about Skeem Saam, where I slung lapho ke besikhishwa ngamakhana lapha kudlalwa lapho. There's a line that I was watching some clip. Ne? You were talking to Mr. Kunutu, the one who owns the shop, Skeem Saam. You were talking about a girl. Oh, it's Charles Kunutu, yeah. There was somewhere you were talking about the girl. Good, you, Charles, I saw an enchanting angel. I was like, yeah, as a partner.
You watch too much TV.
We're coming back with more TV after this.
The buzz of the city. What inspires art.
We are back on Happy Days, and we are here at Potchefstroom in the Northwest, just opposite Ahang FM, you know, because Tina siyahalalisa nabantu abagreles. Yes, but in a radio station just next to us.
Yeah, the community radio station.
Are you part of that radio station?
No, you know.
Because I see people like that.
No, we know each other because we meet quite a bit here.
Yeah.
You know, so no, but you know, we've been working on something maybe to sort of work together on, but because look, they're not doing things like radio drama yet and stuff like that, which would have been nice.
Yeah,
would have been much more involved for them in that, you know, in that regard. But so yeah, but you know, they're doing quite a good job there.
Very well,
for the community.
Yeah, we need community radio station.
Yeah,
you know, that's where we started. I started at Jose FM.
Listen to you.
Before moving to television and then podcast. You see where we come from.
So you've been around.
Yeah. So that is why I'm so much, very much fond with community radio, community media in general.
Yes. I mean, it's important. Yeah. It's important because I mean, so many young people start there who want to become, work for commercial radio stations and stuff, and then they would start in small, it's part of the training. I think it's a great thing. Yeah.
And then talking about 2016, I know that that's when you started with Skeem Saam.
No, actually, it was 2010, 11.
Oh, 2011.
Yeah, because I remember at the time, I remember the year before, I was doing a show at the market, Biko, with Martin Kuboikai. And then and then I remember Obrisa Khabi came to me. He wanted me to do the Rivonia trial. The story about Mandela and them. It was a huge show.
Yeah,
we did at the
Howick story.
Yes. Yes.
That's where you were arrested.
Yeah, because so I played the guy who actually put them in prison, Bruno Mtolo. So, but then I couldn't do it with him that year, and so I remember And then the following year, Dayz Shabango, God bless his soul, he's not passed on. He's passed on now. So he played this other role, the role that I was meant. But anyway, so when I was doing with the Rivonia trial the following year, so we were. I then got a call. No, actually, I met, I don't know if you know Kolofelo or Kola Scroof. So he says to me, Eliva, I went to this audition now. These people are doing this new show, a series, and now they asked me to audition for this role. And then I in Shapile. And then I said to them, Hore, Ish, Biza Molefi. Molefi will be able to play this role.
This one, yeah.
So that's when I got a call actually from them. So I went, and then I did the audition there. I went back to work actually because the show had just opened, the Rivonia trial, and then they called me and they said, listen, we want you on the show for that role, and I said yeah. And at the time there wasn't a lot of money, but because I was drawn to it with the storylines were quite interesting. Yeah. So anyway, we that's how we started. Skeem Saam.
And I know a friend of yours who plays Maputla.
No, actually, it wasn't him.
It wasn't him.
Yeah, it was.
So who wrote that?
People write funny stuff. But because it was Kolofelo Kola, and actually the person that actually gave them my contacts was Harriet Manamel, because Harriet was working with me doing the Rivonia trial. Yeah, that's how I remember it. Yeah, we were doing the Rivonia trial, and then Harriet said, yeah, but I'm working with Molefi, because I think they didn't know who my agent was. So he gave them my numbers, and then that's how they called me. To let me know that they'd be looking.
But let's just unpack the character itself, Walat. I know that he's a retired actor and poet, writer, and he's been traveling a lot overseas. Places like the U.S. and London, and that is why he's using these lavish coats. Let's talk about your coats.
No, but
is it the influence from your poetry?
But also, we had a lot of good writers there. I remember Kagiso Mokhale, who would do most of the monologues and stuff. And then there are times where I would say, KG, listen, would you mind if I change this or that, or say it like that instead of that, or use this word instead of that word? Yeah, that's how it did. We sort of built the character, because I remember when I spoke to Norman Market, I said, listen, so what do we do with this character? So how long has it been? Had he stayed go UK? And then he said, probably 7 to 8 years. And I said, okay, so we can't have him with a very pommy kind of British accent. So it's got to be somewhere in between, where it's South African and British, where standard sort of. And then he said, so that's how we worked on it. And also. Like I say, with sometimes say the idiomatic expressions, and also the words he would use. It's one like where you feel like, oh, now you need to call the head writer and say, listen, would you mind if I said it this way? Somewhere. So sometimes you I think if you understand the character that well, you could have you should actually just sort of throw in something that you think will work, because sometimes you have more than one writer. So things like that. Then but the most of it, it's the brilliant guys, that the team. the head of writers, especially the storylines. You know, Kagiso Mogale and Sipho, they did a lot of great stuff. Because I remember there was a time he wanted to leave, and I said, "What, you crazy? Who do you think is gonna give us these wonderful storylines?"
Yeah.
And he stayed until he left him. Things didn't work out somehow. Until because I was with them from 2010 until 2017. Because remember, it started as a series, a 13-part,
yes,
and then it was a 26-part series, and then maybe they did 13. So and before they sort of decided to make it a daily show, educational though, because I remember I had a call from somebody who I'd worked with before, David Max Brown, and said, "Hey, Molefi, you still remember me, yeah?" And so he told me about this, how they're gonna move from this to that, and they're doing it in that fashion.
Yeah, there's a line that I wanna remind you, which I'm sure it was the early days where you started Skeem Saam, where you talk about life being a nightmare. I'm sure you remember that line. And you were just standing on top of a stone there. It was so poetic. We were just generally talking about life, and then they'll bring on visuals whilst you were talking. It was just thinking very nicely. In fact, when you listen or someone is listening to...
You should have waited. A generous sum of moons before muting his adolescent breath. A timeless grasp, able to suffocate a lily before it buds. Oh, could you be more untamed than you already are?
Girlfriend ya gago.
He should have waited and left his impressionable grave vacant for a few more moons. Oh, boys in uniform aren't worthy of your maturity, O death. Their chests are too infantile to carry 6 feet of soil. Oh, how I wish you would listen, but your aged ears only hear our wails, and this tickles you. Oh, but still, you should have waited.
Those waits.
Yeah, I think I
you remember those waits.
Yeah, but it was you that day. Yeah, because I mean there were so many scenes we were shooting that day. Because I think that was the time, the day we were the week we started shooting it as a daily. And I remember I was like, because I was doing Kharidumele at the time.
Okay, yeah.
Kharidumele, I was waiting to finish with Kharidumele before doing the Skeem Saam again. But somehow, 2 weeks before we could wrap up Kharidumele, they were like already, ready to shoot Skeem Saam. And it was sure. Yeah, I remember vaguely. Yeah. I remember it was a very long day for me. Yeah, and on that rock and then on the streets as well. But yeah, it was fun though. But it was it was one of the longest days of my life on set. Yeah. I remember vaguely. I remember that monologue there on the mountain with the what you call when he's talking about
life being a nightmare that torments the anguish of your soul.
the anguish of your soul.
Yeah.
No man, wait a minute. I think that could have been actually the one that. Oh no, that's the one I did. The when did I do that one? Wait.
Yeah. This one needs to be remembered.
Yeah, no, I think it must have been around 2020. Just before I left.
Okay.
Yeah, just before my final days at Skeem Saam. Yeah, that was around then.
Okay, but maybe there is another quote you want to share with people that will remind the viewers right now. Which, yeah, this is what we're talking about. Just one quote.
I don't want to get into trouble. No, I don't want to get into trouble.
Yeah, he's a very modest person.
Yeah, no, some because I'm no longer with the show, so I'm not sure if I'm permitted to say as any anything there. So I'd rather, but come on.
But you can use your own, man. The one that are not on Skeem Saam.
Hey, look, there's a line I like from there was a poem I like, and it's always been, it's an elegy. It's always been one of my favorites. It's by Tichborne from, it's a British one. So it goes, my prime of youth is but a frost of cares.
Yeah, I like the tone of it.
My feast of joy is but a dish of pain.
Yeah.
And my crop of corn is but a field of tares, and all my good is but a vain hope of gain.
Yeah.
The day has gone, and yet I saw no sun. And now I live, and now my life is done. I sought my death and found it in my womb.
Yeah, those are ways.
Yeah. It carries on. It's one of my favorites. I sought my death and found it in my womb.
There you are. That's how people know you, man.
Yeah. I looked for life, and so it was a shade.
Yeah.
I trod the earth and knew it was my tomb. And now I die, and now I was but made. Yeah.
Tata my chance.
Yeah. So that's it. Yeah. That's it's one of my favorites.
Yeah. And I mean, you started with Skeem Saam season 1 up until season 8. If I'm not making a mistake.
I think season 9.
And season 9.
I think season 9 or 8. It could be one of those. Yeah. Yeah, it could have been one of those because it was almost 10 years with them. We worked together. Yeah.
But will you ever go back to?
I don't know.
You never know.
It's up to the SABC and the producers of.
And the producers, the directors are actually watching. They need to do something around you. People need you back on TV,
I don't
especially
know.
Skeem Saam.
I don't know. As I say, I was supposed to be back with them last year, and then we were meant to talk, and then nothing happened. So it's up to the SABC and the producers there.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for welcoming us in your place, in your space, my brother.
My pleasure.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen.
You're welcome.
Yeah, City Manene na Manenegas. Happy fellows. This is Molefi Monaisa.
Molefi Monaisa. Molefi Monaisa.
Yeah. Well.
Monaisa is a very old Setswana. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for staying tuned on Happy Days. We are out. So shy whiskey, no.
Whiskey? I don't drink. You wish. You wish. I've been sober for 18 years. I've been sober for 18 years.
All right, so
I'm not gonna fall off the wagon now.
Subscribe and become a member of the biggest family, the Happy Days on Podcast family.